really tough run with injuries over the last couple of years, so he'll be looking to go one step further and get that opportunity to play for another Grand Slam spot at the Australian Open in January. He's got a big serve, he competes really well, and he's going to be tough to beat over 5 sets. Mav Baines is one of the toughest competitors out there. He's going to make James play a lot of balls out there. He's going to hang out there. He showed it in his quarterfinal win against the number 2 seed in JP Smith, and this is going to be a tough battle. Both guys know each other extremely well, but there can only be one winner, and it's going to be a tough match.
So that match happening next door. Leighton also gave his thoughts on the match that we are about to see, Pete, on court 8.
Well, the other semi-final in the Australian Open Wildcard playoff is between the number 1 seed Alex Bolt, who kind of had a breakout year for him, being able to qualify for Wimbledon earlier this year. He's really tried to take his game up to another notch. He's had a really tough pre-season of training as well, which I think helped him out in his quarterfinal win against Akira Santalan in a tough 4-set win. But he plays a fellow South Australian in Luke Saville, who's trying to bounce back and find some of his best form. He's qualified for Wimbledon on 2 or 3 occasions in the past, and he'll be going out there. I think the battle's going to be between the Alex Bolt left-handed big serve and Luke Saville's returner serve. That's one of his strengths as well.
The thoughts of our Davis Cup captain, Leighton Hewitt, who is always keeping an eye on things down here at Melbourne Park.
Yeah, which is great. And the head-to-head between these two,
ladies and gentlemen,
this
the
one,
semi-final match will be the best of 5 tie-break sets.
In favour of
the chair,
Luke Saville.
Now,
the last time they played was Challenger Yokohama 2017. Bolt got the win there, 7-5, 6-3. And the start of his rise back up the rankings again for him. The other thing, I know Leighton talked about the Bolt serve versus the Saville return, but what hopefully we will see with these players is plenty of variety. They're both very comfortable at the net. Luke Saville's talked often about his love of playing on grass courts, what he grew up on back in South Australia, and obviously the junior results in terms of winning Junior Wimbledon along the way mean that he's quite comfortable at the net. Alex Bolt's had some really good doubles results throughout his career, particularly here at the Australian Open too, a couple of quarterfinals. So, you know, he's got the ability to mix it up. He's comfortable at the net. And I'm looking forward to seeing how that variety plays out. We may not see it the whole time, but the thing that I'm looking forward to is when they do need to change things up a little bit, whether they'll get into the net a lot more and just change the momentum, change the rhythm of their opposition player.
Well, this is the entree to the main course, which is the Australian Open main draw coming up in January. AusOpen.com is the place where you can start to book your tickets, and the conversation on Twitter, hashtag AOPlayoff. We have Alex Bolt, ranked 160 in the world, taking on Luke Saville, who is a wildcard entry, 471 into this draw. John Hoovenar's with you. Pete Mercado alongside me in commentary, who will kick us off with Alex Bolt to serve.
First set, Alex Bolt to serve. Play.
Oh, he just didn't quite get the timing right on that. Bolt way out of court. It's nicely done just to make Saville play that extra shot. We can see the intent, as Leighton Hewitt was talking about, and that return of serve from Luke Saville, that ability to really push up into the court.
30 love.
I've got to say, one of the things I've loved all the years coming down and doing the Wildcard playoff, John, as you well know, is we see the transformation of this site from during the year mode, where you come down and have a hit, into Australian Open mode.
Just this morning, looking from my desk, I can usually assess how slippery the courts are from my window, but with the grandstands up, I had to take a closer look.
40 love.
Yeah, and the fact that there's been so much redevelopment happening at this place, I haven't been down here for a while, and to see it each and every year, it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and you see it during this particular time, because this is when all the setup happens around the place. And if you are in the Melbourne area across the weekend, well worth getting down to catch the semis, the remaining semis, and the finals as well, the final on Sunday. Nicely done. Set up by the return from Luke Saville there. Forced on the stretch, but got plenty of depth. So Bolt holds in the opening game of the match. Best of 5 sets, designed to simulate the conditions that the players will face in January. Maybe not so much on the heat side of things today, but in terms of 5-set matches. And these two know about playing 5-set matches. They're used to this sort of thing. It's a test for the younger players coming in to just adjust to the best of 5-set dynamic, and that's what makes this tournament really interesting.
It is quite a mature last 4 we have in the men's draw. If you look at the ages, I think they're all mid-20s or higher. Out on court, 7, James Duckworth and Maverick Baines. Games on serve at 1-all. Baines serving at 40 love in the 3rd game. So we'll take a look now at the Luke Saville serve. We haven't broadcast his match yet from a commentary side of things, so it's our first look at Saville for the week.
Whoa! Love 50.
Just dropping in a little bit short. That ball from Saville. Really able to step in on that backhand. Talking about tickets before. Make very good Christmas presents when you don't have time to go out and do shopping. You just buy them online. It's great.
Print them out, put them in the stocking.
Yes.
Job done.
15-all.
Nice bit of shape on the Saville serve. Gone for the aubergine coloured top today, the polo shirt.
Have you been rating the outfits this week, have you?
Oh, I've gone to town. Absolute town.
Oh! 30-15.
A big opportunity here for Luke Saville today, and if he happens to win in the final as well, to push that ranking back up. He's been around the 150 mark. That was a few years ago. It's dropped again, 476 at the moment. Oh, real opportunity for Bolt there. Was a great return. You could see that Saville was out of our camera range. That's how far back in the court he was defending. A real opportunity there for Alex Bolt. Just the unforced error coming in. Just continue on that point of Luke Saville. Getting into the main draw, if you're ranked around 476, there's a huge amount of ranking points, and you'll jump over a lot of players who won't be able to get into qualifying. And that's important. That really gives you a kickstart into the season, but it does give you a massive rankings boost.
Oh! 40-30.
Yeah, a lot to play for the likes of Luke Saville, who, what an outstanding junior career he had. So much was expected of him. 2011 Wimbledon Junior Champion, 2012 Australian Open.
Game Saville.
Bit of a struggle there for Luke Saville in his opening service game, but he gets through. All square in the opening set. It's always interesting when we talk about the Australian Open, we talk about the junior finals, because we have coverage of the junior finals, and you look through the list of the honour roll of players, and it's really interesting to see all the stories that come out of that, because there are some big names who have come through the juniors and transitioned nicely into the seniors, and then there are some who haven't quite been able to push up to the higher ranks.
And for some, it happens so quickly. They feel like it happens, you know, within the space of 12 or 18 months, and for others, it's just a long, arduous battle.
Yeah, but I think part of that is also we're seeing different paths for players. So it would be that you're sort of 16, 17, you go onto the ITF circuit, start playing the ATP, that sort of thing. But players now are choosing other ways, and certainly, you know, college tennis has been a big factor in that. We're seeing more and more players going over there, getting the education and also the conditioning in terms of playing matches all the time and training and working in a team environment and all that sort of stuff.
As evidenced in some of our conversations we've had with a lot of these athletes throughout the week. Astra Sharma, for instance, gave great insight into how college was not even on her radar of things to do after school, yet she gave it a go. Her parents suggested maybe try it for a year. She ended up playing there for 5 years, and she said she learnt more about tennis and her game than she could have anywhere else.
15-30.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So, and as we're seeing that the trend is now in the top 100 for, in terms of the average age, to be sort of trending older. Don't know how it's sitting sort of at the end of this year, but certainly for a number of years it was. Oh, he's missed another one here. A couple of double faults and that unforced error from Bolt. Here's an opportunity, the first for Luke Saville. That's better. But a nicely set up three-quarter court ball deep into the corner of the court. Oh, that's a bit of a let-off too, because he had that three-quarter court ball again, just pressing a little bit too much. He's had a look at a couple of second serves, Luke Saville, on these break points.
Advantage Saville.
And now he gets another opportunity. Hasn't quite found his rhythm here, Alex Bolt, after a relatively comfortable opening service game. Two double faults, a couple of unforced errors as well. It just again opens the door for Luke Saville. And another one. 3 in that game. And the break of serve early on for Luke Saville. It's 2-1 in the opening sets.
Pressure came from Haas, but Rios won the point.
He is a genius, you know.
15 love.
That shot is impossible. Look at it. It was a little flicked half volley, damn it.
An entertaining quarterfinal from 2002, Rios and Haas, some of the more iconic figures in tennis back then.
Yeah, Tommy Haas was... he left tennis and came back. He's tournament director now. Still playing Legends tennis as well. Just came back and certainly played the Invitational doubles at Wimbledon this year.
Did he retire at the end of last year, was it, Tom?
Yeah, he gave it away. After a really good career for world number 2.
Just one of our matches available as part of the AO Classics series, available on the Australian Open TV YouTube channel. A new episode went up this morning, 2015 women's final, Williams and Sharapova.
Thirty love.
No, they are good to watch. They're good to relive some of those matches along the way. The trouble is the archive is so large and there's so much to choose from. You could be there forever.
Yep. It's a rabbit hole.
40 love.
Nice. I love that movement forward. It's about the placement of the serve. He's not having to overhit it, but we just see the placement, both corners of the service box from Luke Saville. Nailing his spots and getting the result.
Game Saville.
And feeling confident too, consolidating the break now for 3-1.
So he came into this tournament as one of the 4 wild cards. He defeated Bradley Mousley in the first round, 6-3, 6-4, 6-4. He then had to take on Dane Kelly in the quarterfinals. That one went to 5 sets, so really got a feel of this level of tennis. Alex Bolt took down Alexander Vukic in the first round in 3, and then a 4-set win over Akira Santillan to book his spot today.
Oh, made it.
What happened to Bolt?
Love 15.
I stuck over in that corner of the court. It was an all or nothing shot. He just absolutely went for it, and that was sensible from Saville because he couldn't do much other than that from that position in the court.
Thanks, Bob.
Clever. That's clever. You can see Saville's position at the back of the court. And again, I was talking about that variety that we're going to see from these players. We've seen Saville just one journey to the net thus far, but I like that change up from Bolt. Nice. Bit disguised, no way Saville's going to get forward for that. Oh, there it is again.
Thought Saville would have gone cross court earlier in that point, had the space and hitting it back.
Well, he was trying to go for the high sort of lob, and you could see Bolt getting back. He was around the service line to hit that high backhand volley and drag that down. He just did enough to force Saville to come forward and a little bit defensive there, so he could get back into the net position.
Bolt converting just 45% of first serves in.
40-15.
Hoping to creep up. And, look, Saville hasn't had a second serve yet. He's 10 from 10. Hashtag AO playoff to join the conversation.
Out. 40-30.
Good from Bolts. Still a breakdown though in this opening set. Saville leading 3 games to 2 in this opening set of the men's singles semi-final.
A rousing Melbourne welcome. Can't have any more drama.
And Serena smashes Steffi's record. Oh, that is scandalous!
When they write the story of the great tennis matches ever played.
Roger Federer, greatest player I've ever seen.
That was simply extraordinary.
Almost not of this planet.
Rethink summer at Australian Open 2019, January 14 to 27 here at Melbourne Park. Watch, cheer and play your way through 14 days of on and off court action and entertainment.
Time.
Tickets available now at Tickettech or via ozopen.com.
And I think there are vouchers available, aren't they? You can give a voucher, Australian Open voucher, and then that person can decide what day they want to come.
It's a very clever invention. Why put pressure on yourself to pick the right day? It's a difficult enough sport to know what day in session to come along to.
Having said that, though, you better get on it quick because these tickets are flying out the door. Walked in today, no tickets to be found, so you better get online now and snap them up. If you are new to this thing, Cooper's Saturday is probably the one that you want to get your tickets hands on really quickly because that does sell out.
15 love.
Nice again, and
day 6 that is. Day 6 of the tournament.
When I'm doing it, I have no idea what the days are. They all merge into one.
You
But
throw
yes,
out the calendar.
the first Saturday. Actually, speaking of which,
yeah,
Saturday before the tournament, get your tickets for that because that does sell out too, the kids' day.
For the first time ever, 2 arena spectaculars.
2
on Kids Tennis Day.
Wow. What are you performing as?
Got my SpongeBob costume in the boot.
Net first serve.
First serve blemish for Luke Saville.
Well done. You see already the tactics from Luke Saville, pretty obvious here in terms of working into the Bolt backhand. There's just one that changed the momentum at that point. Bolt was able to put the ball in a little bit deeper, get Saville out of position, allowed him to run around onto that forehand. And he just had plenty of options. Could have gone down the line, decided to go off forehand cross, worked well. And again, that 1-2 play. He's feeling confident at the moment, Luke Saville, and that is a good position for him to be in. And he's feeling that confidence. He's in a nice rhythm. He can cause problems.
I always thought if he got through the 5-setter against Baines, he'd be a real shot at this wild card. And he is looking like the pick of the 2 in this match today.
Oh, have a look at that angle.
30.
Dosman to get that up and over, but again, showing the options he has, and him trying to fight himself out of a tough position. And for Luke Saville, he wants to get into that backhand of Bolt's, but he doesn't quite nail it. Bolt's got the speed to be able to get around and hit that forehand. He's got himself some options.
Wow, pace off the backhand.
Said that.
4 games.
You can try the other way too, and he's getting good success there as well.
Now, Pete, on Twitter, hashtag AO Playoff, Wilfie has been joining us throughout our coverage all throughout the week and is watching the other match on court 7. Mav Baines had staked himself to a fortuitous first set lead. Emphasis on
been listening to you, has he?
Only to find himself love broken in the no more crucial than all the other games 7th game. Ducky drew him in on a love 30 rally, then beat him with a backhand lob for triple breakback point, and Baines netted a forehand. Suffice to say, back on serve 4-all.
I love that move from Alex Bolts.
15 love.
And now 5-4 for Baines.
Getting Saville wide out of court and then coming in behind it. It's such a good option to have, to be comfortable enough to do that. and again, the depth on the return from Saville. And just underlining the confidence he has right now. Everything's feeling good. As we know, over the best of 5-set matches, that can change. But at the moment, all the signs positive for Luke Saville.
$30-15.
A couple of main draw appearances at the Australian Open, Luke Saville, 2015, 2013. In addition to a couple of the championships at Wimbledon as well. 3 years in the row. We won in opening round match in 2014.
Wait, please. Wait, please. Pick the ball up, please.
To try and be a target at the net. Ball down nicely. And it's the variety from Saville that's making the difference at the moment. Working into the juice court, into the ad court, coming into the net. Oh, and again. He is feeling it at the moment. Luke Saville, he'd have to be pretty happy with the way things are going. He got there in plenty of time. Earned himself another break point. Not quite.
Yes.
Bolt knew what was going to be happening there, just did enough.
Well, Bolt has been the aggressor in his 2 matches so far this week.
Advantage, Saville.
And so far, he's the one that has been playing to the tempo of his opponent. Some really great battles that we have seen, though. The Akira Santillan was a real test for him.
Game Saville.
Again, it's another break of serve. Excellent returning from Luke Saville. He's doing everything
Saville
right at this stage of the match and leads 5 games to 2 in the opening set.
It's too good.
Some big names there in 2006. Justine Henin-Ardenne and Maria Sharapova on the green courts.
Was that really 2006?
Coming up to 13 years ago.
Where has the time gone?
On court 7. 5-all between Duckworth and Baines, locked in a tight first set. The women's semi-final, the women's quarterfinals. We've already had a couple of results. Zoe Hives and Astra Sharma advancing. They will play off in a semi-final. Kim Birrell leads 5-4 against Jamie Forless on serve, and Ellen Perez serving for the first set against Abby Myers at 5-4.
Speaking of serving for the opening set, same situation out here.
Love 15.
Yeah, that match between Henin-Ardenne and Sharapova, one of 31 episodes currently available as part of the AO Classics series on YouTube. Australian Open TV is the channel. What we've done is taken the full match, gone through it, and not just picked out highlights, but actually picked the best sections of the match that tells the story. And we've cut it down to under half an hour, so you can relive the matches.
That sounds like a fun job. Can I get that job for next year?
I'll have to bring you on board.
Leave it,
To
please.
go through all those matches again?
Yeah.
Have fun cutting those ones up. Have a look at that serving.
15-30.
That is precision from Luke Saville. Again, about the angle.
Well, he's still around 75% for first serves and converting 85% of them. By contrast, Alex Bolt's got... Oh, hello.
I think Luke Saville's wishing Hawkeye was being activated for this event. That was very, very close. Too hard from our position to see. Again, that depth of shot, but way back in the court, just being ground down at the moment. It's just the key stats in the positive for Luke Saville.
Little shoulder shrug he does before every serve. It's a real signature.
Oh, Alex Bolt is wondering how many times can he hit that spot with the serve. It's been sensational.
It's been the difference. So, set point for Luke Saville. It's only taken him about half an hour.
First set, Saville. 6 games to 2.
Just hasn't found that rhythm. Luke Saville off to an absolute flyer. What a set of tennis from him. He takes the opening set here in the semi-final. 6 games to 2.
A rousing Melbourne welcome. You can't have any more drama.
Serena smashes Steffi's record. Oh, that is scandalous!
When they write the story of the great tennis matches ever played.
Roger Federer, greatest player I've ever seen.
That was simply extraordinary.
Almost not of this planet.
1 month today, Pete. 31 days until the main draw kicks off on January 14.
50 years of Australian Open tennis.
Yeah, 1968 was it?
69.
69 it started.
Yeah, I think Wimbledon was the first.
That's right.
68.
There you go.
50 years of Open tennis, amazing. Tennis, amazing. Of course, the tournament's been around a lot longer than that, but what a set of tennis from this man on your screen, Luke Saville, in that opening set, just dominating. High first serve percentage, hitting plenty of winners, good variety, plenty for the top seed to think about. But what he would be thinking about right now, Alex Bolt, is that we still have a long, long way to go in this match.
Second set, Bolt to serve.
And it can all start from here.
Last 15.
It's a matter of finding that rhythm. Firstly, on his serve, he could get through a couple of easy service games, then relax things a little bit. He's in these rallies, just try and get the upper hand. Oh! And it might even be that he splits the contest, but it's just slowly working his way into it. And something like that to just get him going.
the spark. Hey, Pete, we're into a first set tiebreak over on court 7 on serve. 2-1 between Duckworth and Baines.
Cleverly done.
15-30.
Rather than hit the cross-court passing shot, just going high to try and get Bolt to hit that high backhand volley, moving backwards. It is so difficult to land. Oh, and again!
Well, that's ridiculous.
That is reading the serve and going for it.
He's in some sort of touch. Break point, 2 break points. This would really.
Wait, please.
This would really put a dagger into the heart of Alex Bolt.
30 point.
And the other thing to think about too is he's playing at such a high level, Luke Saville. Will he be able to maintain that across 3 sets? Certainly if it goes straights, or 4 sets, 5 sets. At the moment, it doesn't look like stopping at all. A break of serve in the opening game of this second set.
He is a man on a mission, is Luke Saville. The 476th ranked man in the world, up against a bloke who's 159. And he is giving him a good old-fashioned lesson at the moment. In the women's matches, first sets have been completed in both of the quarterfinals. Kim Birrell came from a breakdown in that first set to win at 6-4 against Jamie Fawless. And Ellen Perez, the second seed, has claimed the first set 6-4 against Abby Myers. So those 2 matches will decide the other semi-final. We've already got one in the book. Zoe Hives to play Astra Sharma tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be a big day, the women's semi-finals.
$15 love. $15.
Just gives you a bit of an insight, that particular point, as to where Alex Bolt is at, because he's just stuck for options at this particular point in time. Saville, such a high percentage of first serves into play, so effective. At the moment, he's just having to play off the back foot, and
40-15.
It's really hard to be able to turn things around when you're in that position. When the guy down the other end of the court is just controlling play, and he's right, he's just throwing his hands and going, this guy's playing so well at the moment. I can't get into this.
Well, by the end of the first set, Bolt had actually got his nose in front in the first serves in play, but the damage was done in the placement, and Saville won 80% of first serves.
Have a look at that. Have a look at that for a serve.
And that just illustrates, exemplifies the
games
point
to love
that we saw in that first set, and Saville consolidates the early break in this second.
So the test for Alex Bolt now is to find little inroads. Just slowly make inroads here. Because the bloke down the other end, this guy playing really well at the moment. There's not too much that can hurt him right now, just the way he's playing. So it's going to be about Alex Bolt trying to wrestle control of this one.
Love 50.
And then it's that mentality of, okay, I've got to try and keep balls in play. But if I keep balls in play, they land too short and Saville will put them away. So I'll put a bit more on it. Okay, I haven't quite found the rhythm on those, because as we saw in that point, another unforced error there.
The great juggling act of the tennis player.
So there, had to work really hard for that point, but came up with the result.
Hashtag AO Playoff. Join us on Twitter. Kennedy Schaffer is watching Ellen Perez play. She says, "Go bestie, that's my bestie." It's great to see friends of players getting involved as well. This is the only place you can see coverage of the Australian Open Wildcard playoff.
30-50.
Yeah, and the fact is it's a big sort of carnival because it's part of the December showdown too. So a lot of players running around, a lot of junior players running around at the moment, and when they're not busy playing, they're out watching these guys. Oh, and again, just picking it up so well. The anticipation.
Ellen Perez took the first set 6-4 against Abby Myers. Game's on serve 2-1 in the second of that quarterfinal.
Ball!
A second double for Bolt for the match.
Another break point here.
Yes.
Nicely saved. You can see the return of serve how far into the court. Saville standing just near the baseline. He's seeing it so clearly. Oh, back behind him. It was set up.
Advantage Saville.
As Bolt was coming into the net. Just the slice coming in from Saville. He kept that ball nice and low. And that was the key with Bolt coming forward. He didn't have the ball at shoulder height to be able to put it away. And that allowed Saville back into that rally. And another break point.
Thanks, Bob.
That's the first framed ball we've seen since the first point where he miscued the overhead smash into the net. But he has been on song in between those bookends and playing with such freedom.
That's the amount of work that Alex Bolt has to do to win points at the minute. You see that one. We haven't had too many long rallies, but this is it for Alex Bolt now. It's hanging in these rallies. Yeah, he's going to have to work hard, but he's getting the result.
Game Bolt.
And he's on the board in the second
Saville leads
set.
2-1 second set.
But Saville up a break. It is 2-1 in the second set. The first set going the way of Luke Saville, 6-2.
Well, that's going to go down on any highlight reel, and
2009 classic between the two Spanish left-handers, and you were calling that match, I believe.
Yeah, FAO Radio. That was it 5 hours 13?
Could be spot on. I trust your memory in that department.
Oh, don't. My memory's terrible, but that was a big match. You saw how young Rafael Nadal looked in that clip. Goodness me.
Even Verdasco. Hey, Pete, can bring you up to date with the first set. Maverick Baines has taken it against James Duckworth in a tie-break, 7-4, and he's already up a break in the second set at 1-love.
15-love. $30-love.
So for Saville, a first ace.
$40-love.
Back to back. He's stringing together some sort of performance here.
Just beautiful rhythm on the serve. Good variety too, in terms of where he's placing it. That's something a little bit different from Alex Bolt, standing right inside the baseline for that first ball.
Game Saville.
Easy as you like for Luke Saville.
Saville leads 3-1.
It's just that build-up of pressure that we're seeing on Alex Bolt at the moment, because just landing the serves, landing them deep, is causing all sorts of problems for Bolt, who just can't get into any sort of rhythm on the return of serve.
Love.
Hoping to speak to some of our winners so far, Pete, from the women's quarterfinals. Zoe Hives and Astra Sharma, hopefully to join us shortly.
30 love.
They're going to be joining us in our commentary position.
That's right.
Oh, that'll be nice.
We've got a question for them. Hashtag AO Playoff on Twitter. We can ask them on your behalf.
$30-15.
Just got stuck in the court there, Alex Bolt. But again, the return of serve, great. That's plan A. When you see a player coming forward like that, to get it at their feet, force them to hit up, try and get down low. It's not quite into position there, Alex Bolt, for that one. And again, and you said that the return before, right up the middle of the court. This one managed to hook the angle to get it coming up the line.
Finding all the lines.
$40-30. Game ball.
It's a good serve from Alex Bolt.
Saville leads 3-2. Second
swing,
set by 1 set to love.
But still down a break. It's 3-2 Saville in the second set.
Well, what an unbelievable point from Angie Kerber.
championship stuff. Absolutely.
It was the coming of age for Angelique Kerber, 2016 women's final, knocking off Serena Williams, the defending champion.
And struggled a little bit in 2017, back in 2018.
Yep. Now 3-time Grand Slam champ. And what a career she's putting together. She'll be back for Team Germany at the Hopman Cup, December 29. Teaming up with Alexander Zverev. We are watching the men's semi-finals action. Luke Saville serving a set to love and 3-2 against Alex Bolt, who really hasn't had much of a look in. He's trying desperately to find a way.
Dirty love.
That's all he needs to do. Just keep trading serve. And he'll be a 2-set to love leader. Looks so comfortable at the moment.
His first serve percentage up around 80% in this second set, converting at 86.
$30-15.
That was only the second .1 while receiving in the set for Alex Bolt.
Okay, now a bit of an opening for Alex Bolt. Yes, it's only 30 all, but even still, just a little window. Just something to hold on to here.
$40-30.
That's the ability to back that up from Saville. Another first serve into play.
Cheers.
How's that? Under a little bit of pressure in the service game.
Right, it's settled.
Could be easy just to grind away from the back of the court, but he just changes it up. Could see it coming. It just gives Bolt another look. He thinks that he's got himself into the game. Saville finds a way. Superb. Yep. It's just build up of pressure. A little bit in that game. We haven't seen too much on the Saville serve, where he's been forced to get himself out of any sort of trouble, but still manages to get through. 4-2 here in the second set. And what it does is it allows him to have a good swing at this Bolt service game, because Alex is the one feeling the pressure at the moment. And that ability just to free the arms, to just go after it, to take that confidence, knowing that you've got that break advantage, you're set to the good. It's a wonderful feeling.
Correction. First serve.
Bolt making his feelings known.
Yeah, it's frustrating, but he still gets another first serve. A little bit disappointing because you can see that ball floating back towards him.
15 all.
All's well that ends well there. You can see that we will have a full complement of lines people for the final. But they're having to work a little bit overtime with matches being played all over the place.
30-15.
Musical chairs in the tennis world for these lines people. So what can Alex Bolt do to arrest this tidal wave of momentum Luke Saville has established? Because conversely, you talk about the freedom that Saville's got to play with. How conservative can Bolt afford to be?
40-15.
He doesn't need to be conservative, but you saw that serve. He didn't have to hit the cover off the ball. It was about the placement. He's got that advantage in that court. It's about using that. And see, 40-15. A couple more first serves wouldn't go astray either.
Yeah, Bolt.
To get results like that.
Yep.
So Saville's still up a break in this second set. He's
Saville
set
leads 4
and
games to
4-3
3,
in front in this men's semi-final.
A rousing Melbourne welcome. Can't have any more drama.
And Serena smashes Steffi's record. Oh, that is scandalous!
When they write the story of the great tennis matches ever played.
Roger Federer, greatest player I've ever seen.
That was simply extraordinary.
Almost not on this planet.
Celebrating 50 years of open tennis here at Australian Open 2019, which kicks off in exactly 1 month's time. Rethink your summer at Australian Open 2019. Tickets available at Ticket Tech or via ozopen.com. Good stocking stuffer, as you mentioned before, Pete.
Exactly 1 month.
Time.
Where has the time gone?
Time is a mysterious thing. Luke Saville has taken very little of it to establish a decisive lead in this men's semi-final. Half an hour first set. Leads by a break at 4-3 in the second.
Love. Correction, love 15.
Yes.
We all have our
days. It's just completely going with Saville's way. Even winning the points, he doesn't.
I'm surprised Bolt didn't react to that one.
Johnson, it's my first time to Melbourne Park in a little while. The AO shop open online yet, or are we still waiting until next year?
That is a very good question.
Because I've got my eye on a particular item that sold out last year by the time I got to it. So I need to get myself organised for next year.
Looks like we're online. AustralianOpenShop.com to get ahead in the merchandise stakes.
Which I might do that now, actually, or do it straight after the match. Oh, have a look at that for a half volley.
30-15.
That is sensational.
When Alex Bolt doubles over,
but
something's in trouble.
But that wasn't a bad return. Oh, it's at the feet. Yes, it's short, but Saville, gosh, depth on that half volley too. Goodness.
Thank you, Bobo.
He's unstoppable at the moment.
40-15.
Well, yeah, three-quarter court ball, nicely put away. It's just the control that he has right now.
Pete, off Twitter, Jed Zetzer commenting on Mav Baines and Luke Saville being up a set and a break. Could you imagine a Baines-Saville final at the playoff? Would be tremendous, says Jed.
$40-30.
I tell you, that final, hard to pick a winner. Very, very hard to pick a winner out of those two.
You wouldn't have picked it going into the week either. But that is the reality at the moment. Maverick Baines leading James Duckworth a set and a break over on court 7. And you can see what has unfolded here on our court.
Game 7, new balls, please.
Nice approach. Got the ball he wanted to put that volley away. That's where you want it. Right in that position, just to control it, controlling the point, controlling the match. 6-2 and 5-3 now. And again, he has that shot at the Bolt serve.
Quick score update from the indoor courts. Women's singles quarterfinals action. Kim Birrell took the first set against Jamie Fawless. It's 3-all in the second. And Abby Myers is hitting back in the second set against Ellen Perez, who took the first set 6-4. It's Myers serving for the second to send it to a decider at 5-3.
Tennis balls here for Alex Bolt.
15 love. $30 low.
Even the miss is
30-15.
Working the way of Luke Saville. Well, I think Bolt was a little bit surprised that it came in that particular way. He got through that ball.
Bolt. $30-all.
This is where it can cause problems when you haven't been able to find that rhythm, and that Alex Bolt should be reasonably routine into that forehand, but just the confidence levels drop. You see that Saville's level hasn't dropped off throughout this match so far. That's better.
Crafty from
40-30.
25-year-old. These guys, both South Australians, very familiar with each other and each other's games. Just a year separating them, both from country South Australia.
Thanks, ball boy. Out.
Oh,
Ball's
no,
out.
it is an out
Ball's
ball.
out.
So, you got
Game
a
ball.
good view of that one.
You don't often see that. An
Saville
incorrect
leads 5
correction.
games to 4. Second.
Yeah, but ball was out. But Saville, anyway, in the meantime, he's going to be serving for this second set next at 5 games to 4.
Would have been a sensational shot. match-winning shot, I think. What a tip.
Always a treat watching some of the old-time games, matches from Kooyong back in the day, Pete, 1980s.
Yes, and, well, seeing those two, didn't matter what court you saw them on, it was always going to be a classic. And you got plenty in the repertoire that you could go to for Martina and Chrissy.
AO Classics available now, youtube.com/Australian Open TV. AO Classics, the best bits of the best battles. Luke Saville serving for the second set and a decisive 2-sets-to-love lead in this men's singles semi-final.
Stain on that backhand, Alex Bolt. Rock solid from Luke Saville, though. Gee, talk about advantages in 5-set tennis, but being 2 sets to love up.
Wait, please.
The way that Luke Saville's playing, going to be hard for Bolt to get back in. Not impossible, though.
Yeah,
that one's landing in. Did the hard work there. Bolt off the return. Thought he had it won, but the confidence of Luke Saville, the way things are going, the way this match has been trending, it's all going one way.
Out. 40 love.
So things just not working for Bolt. Time running out. Frustration starting to get the better of him.
Code violation, ball abuse, warning Bolt.
Well, trying to get some of that frustration out, but picking up the code violation at the same time. Oh, it's been difficult for Alex today.
Man, second set, Saville.
Commanding position now for Luke Saville.
Saville leads by 2
Played
sets.
some great tennis. He's taken the first 2 sets 6-2, and now the second 6-4.
A rousing Melbourne welcome. Can't have any more drama.
And Serena smashes Steffi's record. Oh, that is scandalous!
When they write the story of the great tennis matches ever played.
Roger Federer, greatest player I've ever seen.
That was simply extraordinary.
Almost not of this planet.
Some great images of Australian Opens gone by. This year celebrating 50 years of the Australian Open in the Open era. Of course, the Australian Championships dating back a lot further than that. But just a month away, 31 days until Australian Open 2019. Watch, cheer and play your way through 14 days of on and off court action and entertainment. Tickets available now at Ticket Tech or via ozopen.com. Pete, I think we found that the Australian Open shop is open for business.
Yeah, just
what are you looking at?
Leave me with it, because last year,
Time.
or this year, I didn't get anywhere near the caps. And I'll tell you, that's the big tip. You've got to get in and get the AO caps, because they sell out within the first week.
They're like hotcakes, aren't they?
I asked you for one, you wouldn't give me one. You spent more time in the shop than probably most of the spectators.
Now we've got our first guest coming up, Zoe Hives. If you've got a question for Zoe, hashtag AO Playoff, and we'll put it to her.
Third set. Bolt to serve. Love 15.
Well, Pete, time to welcome our first guest for day 5 of our coverage, Zoe Hives, victorious 6-2-6 love in her quarterfinal over Kayla McPhee earlier today. Congratulations, Zoe.
Thank you.
Well, we didn't see much of the match from up here, but talk us through how that unfolded against someone who's been in pretty good form this week so far.
15.
Yeah, just went out and was feeling really good today, actually. Indoors, I feel like I might have had a little bit of an advantage as I train here, and I've trained quite a bit indoors. But yeah, came out, played really well. I thought she started pretty well. Yeah, and got on top.
You'd be well used to having to sit through rain delays and days that have been washed out. Did that present any sort of challenges for you heading into today?
No, I'm pretty used to it. Like Toowoomba this year was shocking. Didn't play semi-final day. Had to play 2 in one day, and even Canberra was pretty bad. So the couple of tournaments I've gone well in have actually been pretty bad weather. So yeah, pretty used to it.
15-40.
And being here in Victoria too, we get plenty of rain.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, you would have woken up this morning not knowing exactly when you were going on court or what court you'd be playing on. How do you adjust to all those changes in, finding out at the last minute, having to adjust your preparation and your eating times and so forth?
Yeah, I guess I've just done it so often now. It's you get up, you see what's going on, and then I find for me, I need to eat a fair bit, go through it pretty quickly. So I just keep snacking, and the warm-up today was going to be, I wasn't sure what was going to happen, because 1 minute we're outside and they were going to get us on soon, and then the next it's raining, and we're like, oh, I've got to get inside and warm up there. So yeah, it was a bit rushed today, but yeah, it worked out all right.
Your next opponent, Astra Sharma, who also had a straight sets win over Arena this morning. So both of you haven't spent that much time on court. You'd be feeling pretty fresh for tomorrow, you think?
Yeah, I've done all my like ice bath today as well, and those kind of things. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty good for tomorrow.
What do you think about that matchup against Astra?
Well, we played in Toowoomba, but those conditions were horrible. That day, the wind was just going sideways, gale force. So can't really take a lot from that. Beat her there, but yeah, I think it'll be a good match. She's got a big serve. I played her here last year, actually, and beat her there. So yeah, it'll be a good match, I think.
Let's talk about your year overall in terms of start of the year, January, in terms of goals that you set to where you are now. What sort of mark would you give yourself for 2018?
I'm really happy with it, considering start of the year I started really well, made a couple of semis in Burnie Launceston, and I went, okay, I need to get my body right, because I'm not getting through past these matches. I'm just getting too tired. So I went on a bit of a training block, and then I ended up getting bone stress in my rib. So I didn't really play much for 6 months for this year. So to then come back and get a couple more titles at the end of this year, like, that's why I'm really happy with how it's going, considering I've had 6 months of no competition. Yeah.
Game Saville. First game
back as Saville breaks the Bolt serve in the opening set, as he did it so far.
So how important is it then at the end of the year, knowing that there's a little bit of a break potentially coming up? Not much, because we've only got a handful of weeks, but to just be mindful of keeping your body in good shape in terms of all those injuries and that sort of thing, and really looking after yourself.
Yeah, well, I feel like I'm in a pretty good position now. Canberra gave me a lot of confidence. I had three setters. A couple went 7-5 in the third, so I feel really confident with my body. That's why I'll go see a physio next. You just keep on top of anything that's kind of coming up. But yeah, like, I was going to play an AMT in Ballarat in a week or so, because that's my hometown. and I'll just see how I go. Like, if I really need it, just see how tomorrow goes. But yeah, I'm feeling good. Yeah.
Well,
15 love.
just have a couple of hurdles more to go until you hopefully have the chance to win through to your first main draw of the Australian Open. We wish you the best of luck for tomorrow's semi-final against Astra Sharma, and all the best going forward as well.
Thank you very much.
Zoe Hives, the 4th seed from Victoria, joining us
low.
in the commentary box. Pete, great to catch up with her, and we'll continue the set between Alex Bolt and Luke Saville at 1 love. Love hearing from the athletes. Always very candid here at the Wildcard playoff.
Colt.
The Halloween Christmas present.
Absolutely.
So he was able to win the Wildcard through, but again, it's that sort of reward for the effort. Talked about being injured, but also having some good results this year, and the overall balance of things very much positive.
Deal.
Again, just right in those rallies, but just not able to finish it off. Now, the one thing that could work in Bolt's favour here is if we have a rain delay. There's a little bit of rain around Melbourne Park at this stage, just to get off the course. Should be given the opportunity if he could go right now.
Absolutely.
He would, Alex Bolt, but
we've had clear skies for the last almost 3 hours now. Enough for the courts to dry out and get play underway. And it's the last thing Luke Saville wants, is to have this interrupted by a rain delay.
Yes.
Off Twitter, Wilfie says, I'm judging this to be the best I've seen Luke Saville play in years. The verdict is in. Luke Saville is pounding the gavel. And by gavel, he means ball. Work with me on this metaphor, people, says Wilfie.
You two working together on this?
Advantage Bolt.
Pun partners. Sort of like pen pals.
Dangerous combination.
Here's a little look in for Alex Bolt.
Yeah, first time we've seen this. The chance to get the break back. Yes. A nice way to save it. Just when you think you've got a bit of a look in, Saville comes up with a serve like that. And that one.
Advantage Saville.
Third ace of the set for Saville. 7th of the match.
Correction.
Oh no. From both sides.
Replay the point.
Frustration from Bolt because it was a good return. Frustration from Saville because he thought it was out.
The linesman called it out and overruled from the chair. Is that right?
The umpire called it out. Oh no, sorry, the umpire called it good.
Yeah.
My mistake, yes. So we replay.
Game Saville.
Oh, that
Saville
just
leads
sums
2
it up,
games
doesn't
to
it, for Alex Bolt, the chance to get things back on track. It's just the way that Luke Saville has played, and there's our correspondent on Twitter was saying,
Wilfie,
that, yeah, I mean, it's been a while since we've seen Luke Saville play like this in terms of completely controlling a match. Quality opponent down the other end of the court.
4-all in the second set between Duckworth and Baines. Baines taking the first set in a tiebreaker. Oh, Bolt on the march, but can't execute.
Low 15.
Oh. Everything was right except that last shot. Everything. He'd set it up beautifully. Just gives you the indication of where his confidence is at right now.
Low 30.
He's been backed into a corner all day long. Luke Saville has controlled the match. And Bolt is psychologically on the ropes.
Time for Alex Bolt to do some sort of rain dance or something like that to bring this rain on, because
you can see it just spitting. They look like heavy drops, but few of them.
He needs to get off this court right now, otherwise this could be wrapped up very, very quickly.
Third set, ladies and gentlemen, the trainer has been called to court.
And
interesting.
The trainer called out for Alex Bolt, but 3-love, third set. Let's see whether the trainer can work his magic, because Luke Saville in a great position, 6-2, 6-4, and now 3-love in the third. So we see medical timeout here for Alex Bolt. You saw the bandaging he had.
It's a standard abdominal taping you see to just protect if there's a hot spot or even a slight nick in an abdominal muscle that they do. And the trainer there was just testing to see if there was any pain while coughing or any pain while applying downward pressure on his arm.
Yep, so we're going to take the full medical time out here. Double reason why I'd be looking for the rain to come, Alex Bolt, because just time to get some more treatment on this.
Approaching a result too in the women's singles quarterfinal. Kim Birrell 6-4, 6-5 now against Jamie Forlis. And we are into a third set in the match between Abby Myers and Ellen Perez. Myers snatching the second set in a tiebreak 7-1. Takes the ascendancy into the deciding set. Our other winners today, Zoe Hives, whom we spoke to a little earlier, and Astra Sharma, and they will meet in tomorrow's semi-final. The other semi to be decided later on this afternoon. The lineup, that is. So the situation here is rather grim for Alex Bolt.
Yeah, now a bit of work on the back. It has been a big year for him. He's played a lot of matches. Still just needing to just slow down the momentum of Luke Saville. So the magic spray's coming out.
Do you carry that in the kit bag?
No. No. He's magic though. Apparently.
A little bit of adhesive to help the Fix-A-Mole stick. So Luke Saville came out of the blocks quickly. 6-2, he took the first set. 6-4, starting to see it brilliantly in the second. And now leading 3 games to love in this third set. Alex Bolt has had very, very few opportunities to make inroads.
Yes, but again, that idea of best of 5-set tennis. So Luke Saville just walking through, shot there. He's ready to go. He just wants this momentum to keep going.
Hashtag AO Playoff. If you're watching our coverage, give us a shout out. Let us know where in the world you're watching from. 31 days to go to the main draw of the first Grand Slam of the year. Who are you following? Who are you picking to win through to the main draw? Of course, Pete, we've already got 4 of the wild cards decided in the men's draw.
Yeah, Jack Sock got the US reciprocal because he was the got enough points despite the fact that he's had a poor singles season. He's he played it in Paris in the Masters event and he dropped 70 plus places because he'd reached the final and he didn't do so well to back it up. He had a tough year, but he gets the wild card anyway. So he's ranked around 105 in the world, so he might be close to direct entry, depending on how many players pull out. So we resume here. And now it becomes a race against time for Luke Saville because you can see this rain getting slightly heavier now.
That's the quickest way to do it.
Love.
Yeah, some of the others, Jo-Wilfried Tsonga, I believe deserved the French reciprocal wild card because he making his way back. Gosh, watched him play in Paris too. Well, he didn't come up with the result. Boy, there's a lot to like. Get that pre-season under his belt. A few matches early on in the summer. Interesting one in terms of an outsider to talk about.
Well, he's been to the big dance before, 2008, against Novak Djokovic.
And Jason Kubler, by the way, the other one, the discretionary wildcard, thoroughly deserves it after his season.
Whoa. 40-50.
A rare transgression on the serve from Luke Saville. Just his 3rd double fault for the match.
Saville.
Well, when it's your day, it's your day.
Well, he just couldn't push back there. Alex Bolt, clearly that issue causing some problems in this 3rd set. But how's that? Just very cool, very calm at the moment. Luke Saville, very, very close to a spot in this final.
James Duckworth has hit back to take the 2nd set, 7-5, breaking the Bain serve late. 1 set all.
full-on defence from Bolts.
Love 50.
Yeah, he just looks slightly hampered in terms of his movement, but boy, you got to hand it to Luke Saville. He has played a hell of a match so far.
Battle-weary Bolt still offering some resistance. Saville is in a hurry to get this match done and dusted.
Ready, 50.
Oh, he almost conceded that one too. Bolts. Struggling now, getting a bit of pace on his serve, but now it should just be about the placement. He's going to do that a couple of times in the match.
50.
So he's on the board. Luke Saville in a really strong position now.
Leads.
2 sets to love up. And leading 4-1 in the third set.
Ever seen Serena slow some of these serves down just to try to get them in play? Which way will she go this time?
The class of Serena Williams.
Well, Pete, they say blue and green should never be seen, but when you're seeing quality tennis like that, 2001 Hingis Williams, I think we can make some exceptions.
You've been saving up that line, haven't you?
Oh, it just came to me.
Oh, I don't believe that. Absolutely believe that. More treatment to sit down for Alex Bolt. Time running out though.
Off Twitter, Jake Davies says, believe Bolt's had a problem with an injury in since his opening match. Has been wearing the tape since.
15 low.
And Wilfie has responded saying, good thing he's front of line for an actual wildcard, a discretionary wildcard, should he not win this playoff. Provided he can mend, it's an excellent safety net to have.
Low.
Yeah, it is. Not that you want to be relying on it, but obviously being the top seed here in the year that he's had certainly presents a good case, but no means a done deal.
Love.
Talked right at the very start about the return of serve for Luke Saville, but boy, his serving's been exceptional today. Game away from a spot in the final.
Saville leads 5 games to 1.
I really did not expect this when we walked in today. I was fully preparing for a 4 or 5 setter. Both of these guys have been in really good form this week. Granted, we've seen much more of Bolt on court 8.
Low.
Second set tiebreak in the women's quarterfinal between Birrell and Fawless. Birrell took the first set 6-4 and was up a break serving for it, but Fawless striking back.
You know.
He's been worn down today, Alex Bolt. It's been a great performance from Luke Saville. Stress that enough. Not for Alex Bolt, Ben Saville, who's come out and won and set the tone in the opening set. Just making everything. Down the confidence and issue followed and flare up there. Just hasn't been able to find any sort of rhythm, hasn't been able to have any sort of confidence when he's tried to make inroads in the Saville serve. Saville's found a way to get out of trouble. Still working towards the little goals of forcing Saville to serve it out.
Yes. Advantage Bolt.
That rain not making too much of an impact on the court in terms of the lines or anything like that. It's the key element when the rain falling.
Yes.
See that depth of shot from Saville. It's been one of the features today. Oh, difficult to play that particular ball, running out of ideas. And now Luke Saville has match points. Oh, it's been an excellent day for Luke Saville.
6-3, 6-4, 6-1.
He is through to the final of the 2019 Australian Open Wildcard playoff. Getting the job done over the top seed. 6-2, 6-4, 6-1.
Well, it was nothing other than comprehensive right from the opening game. Luke Saville, after a little nervous first point, found his rhythm early and did not look back. And Alex Bolt really with very few opportunities to make inroads. So Saville books himself a spot in the final and now is just one spot away from getting back into the Australian Open main draw for the first time in 4 years for him. He will take on the winner of James Duckworth and Maverick Baines, currently locked in a third set. It's 1 set apiece, Duckworth leading 3-love in the third.
Yeah, I've got to say that was super impressive from Luke Saville. Yes, Alex Bolt's suffering from the injury. He got a medical timeout in that final set, but right from the opening set, just able to control things. And yeah, the return of serve was great, but he's serving percentage is really high today, placing it nicely, excellent variety. and managed to get the job done. I'm sure he will take plenty of confidence into the final, no matter who he plays, whether it's Duckworth or Baines, because the way that he played